Dragon Ball Daima, Episode 7, Caller. Okay, we got some things to discuss today, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it was a little bit of a slow episode, not gonna lie. It got really hype at the end, though. Okay? And if you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? If you already watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. This is gonna be nothing but spoilers. Okay? When I do these reviews, I talk about the entire episode, right? Pretty much scene by scene, and then I pretty much talk about, you know, if I have thoughts about that scene or not, you know? So, anyway, it starts off, you know, with the crew at Kami's Lookout, Bulma, Vegeta, Piccolo, Kibito, and they're, you know, Bulma's like trying to fix the space thing, the ship, and Vegeta's like, man, you gotta fix it by tonight because we gotta go. And she's like, you're gonna rush me while I do this for you? You're gonna give me a day? And Vegeta's just like, he's just standing his ground. And then as he was about to say something, a ship comes flying in, and what do you know, Hybis himself drops down, the dude who Kadan sent. Drops down, picks up the gang pretty much. He's like, yo, Kadan sent me, we're good to go. So they hop in, they're flying, and now it cuts to Goku and the gang back in the demon realm, and they're flying to the Tamagami location, the third Dragon Ball Tamagami. And so Goku's eating a snack, and this snack looks like a little like meatball kind of thing. It doesn't look too appealing, to be honest. It doesn't look like it's the greatest thing, but apparently, like, one of these, like, snacks equals 2 meals, okay? So, of course, Goku eats one, and Pansy's, like, explaining that to him, and then he's like, huh, that's interesting, eats another one. Well, the first one he eats, you see his belly get bigger, and then the second one he eats, it gets even way bigger, and he's, like, you know, super stuffed, and he's like, oh, yeah, actually, now that you think about it, I am getting pretty full, I probably should stop, because Pansy's like, how many of those are you gonna eat, you know? So, he stops eating them, and then, it cuts back to Hybis and Bulma and them, and Hybis, they're in space, and he's just pretty much like calling Kadan. He's like, hey, we're on the way. And Kadan's like, cool, see you guys soon, whatever, right? And then cuts back again to Goku in the game. Pansy sees a marine spaceship. Pansy is scared because she's like, you know, the Marines talked to us that one day, right, when Goku, you know, in the last episode was taking a crap. They talked to them, they stopped them, they questioned them, and she's like, now my collar's activated again, so they see where I'm at all the time. She's just like, you know, gets a little freaked out, and, you know, Glorio takes like a U-turn, tries to evade them. As they evade them, or as they take a U-turn, they boom, run right into another Marine ship. So they end up getting stopped, and so they land, and they pretty much get searched, right? And they tell them all to come out. Pansy's freaking out because she's like, oh my god, what if Goku gets caught? Like, they're looking for Goku. Goku, we can't let them know you're here. You know, you gotta hide. And Goku's like, where am I gonna hide? There's like nowhere to hide back here. And then Shin comes up with a great idea. He's like, everyone calm down. It's all good. Just follow me. And so Shin, you know, he pretty much leads the way. He exits the ship and he tells Goku, he's like, Goku, you know what to do, right? And so everyone knows. You know, I was like, Goku could teleport. Like, why wouldn't he just teleport out of there? So Shin, you know, walks out of the ship. He walks out and, you know, goes a pretty far distance. As he does that, Goku instant transmissions to where Shin is. That way he's behind all the guards now. And then he runs, takes off into the bushes. Pansy's like freaking out because she thinks he's still, you know, in the ship. And she turns around, she sees Goku. And then she's like, Goku's like, ha. And she's like, what the heck? And then, you know, they try to make her to shut up, whatever. He runs into the bushes, right? It's kind of it's kind of like a little silly thing. It's a little annoying because, like, we just dealt with the Marines in the last episode. Now we got to deal with them again. Like, come on. Like, let's just get to the Tamagami and let's fight this thing. You know what I mean? So they're searching the ship. They don't find Goku. They don't find anything. And then they go up to Pansy, and one of the guards wants to like take her in for questioning because he thinks that she's the little like rebel kid that threw that smoke bomb, which he was correct. He was, you know, correct about that. That was her. He wants to take her in. She's like, no, you're not going to take me in. He grabs her by the wrist. She pulls out her taser. Once she pulls out her taser, it's on. Like, gloves are off. She tases him. As she tases him, like, the guards are like, oh, what the hell? And then Shin and Glorio kind of just take over. Shin just hops in, just karate chops like 3 of them. They go flying. Glorio comes in. He's like taking a couple out. And then they literally like a couple of Marines, in the distance. A couple of them getting ships. So there's like 2 in the air. There's 2 ships in the air. And Glorio hits one with his lightning magic that pretty much like impairs the vehicle. It starts to go down. As it's going down, the thing opens and they all start running to jump out because if it falls they'll just die. As they're doing that, Shin gives no fucks. He just uses his telekinesis and throws that ship into another ship and it explodes. So they're all dead. Everyone's dead. He doesn't even care. He doesn't play any games. So they all die. And then there's one last ship that's like taken off, right? Like the rest of the people that aren't knocked out, the Marines, they hop on another ship, they start taking off, and then that's when Shin's like, Goku, do it. And so Goku hops out the bushes, shoots a ki blast. Literally, the ki blast is just a regular like ki blast, knocks that ship into like the Demon Realm atmosphere. Now, like, we just gotta hold on right there. Right? What is the Demon World atmosphere? Like he like Team Rockets them from Pokemon. Like he hits them, they turn into a star, twinkle twinkle. You know what I mean? Like, where did they go? Is there like a Demon Realm space? Is there like a real atmosphere? You know what I mean, or something like that? Like what? Literally, where could they have possibly gone? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. But yeah, anyway, they're gone. They're out of there. They just went into some deep, dark hole somewhere. And they pretty much beat everybody, and there's a bunch of Marines that are all knocked out on the floor. And so Pansy gets like this, some kind of tool. It's like a little like ray gun, and she's like starts shooting these, not like literally shooting them, but like she's pointing the ray gun at this one knocked out Marine, and like she pulls the trigger and these sound waves come out, and Goku's like, yeah, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm disabling their communication system, so when they wake up, they can't just call into the army or whoever they need to call to like, the government to back them up or whatever. So it gives them a bunch of time to get out of there. They turn around, they see their ship is completely destroyed. The whole front window glass thing is totally destroyed. They're like, yo, this is a problem. We can't fly this. But they turn around, miraculously, of course, there's a Marine ship, not even touched, behind a bunch of trees, in the distance. They're like, oh, we can take that. So they load all their stuff up into that one. As they're about to leave, Pansy pretty much, like, she doesn't go into the ship. She stays behind. And she's like, yo, they can follow me anywhere because of this collar. So, like, I just don't feel like, being the nuisance to this, and I just can't go with you guys. So Shin, he asks to see her collar. She takes off her scarf. She shows Shin, and Shin, he looks at it, and he says that the collar that she's wearing is made of kachintite. Okay, I don't really know how to say it in English, but that's pretty much how it's spelled, kachintite. And this is a metal that's made on the planet Kaishin. Okay, so Supreme Kai is Shin, Kaishin, right? So there's that's where the Glins were, are made. They used to live. That's where they were born, right? So Shin suspects his sister Arinsu made this device because it's some high-tech device that only Glins wear, or that you can only get from where the Glins used to live. And like, if you've been keeping up with the series, no Glins pretty much live there anymore. Like, they all pretty much left. So there's not a lot. If we go to that second demon realm, I don't think there's going to be a lot of Glins. At first I did, and then I realized, well, if they all left, then what Glins would there be when we get to that demon realm? So that's going to be, interesting to find out. But so anyway, Shin suspects his sister Arinsu for creating these collars while King Dabura was the king, right? The era of King Dabura, she made these, put them on everybody in the third demon realm, because Pansy explains that everybody, all the demons in the third demon realm, get taken by the government and put the collars on, and if you disobey that, or if you try to fight against it, you get killed, right? So obviously that third demon realm is pretty much just a bunch of slaves, like, and that's how it's like been portrayed, right? Slaves, third world, no technology, as little technology as possible, a bunch of shanty, shacks. Like, it looks like it's like the Old West. Like, it's not like there's like all their freedoms are stripped away from them. Like, they have, restaurants, stuff like that. But like, it's probably hard to make any money, and plus they come around and they take money all the time. So, yeah. the third demon world is, pretty shitty. And so as Pansy's literally explaining that, how you get killed if you fight against it, as she's explaining it, Glorio, like, if anyone noticed this, Glorio's looking at her, and at the moment she says, you get killed if you fight against it, he turns and walks into the ship, and he's done listening, right? He's totally done with this conversation. He goes into the ship. Keep an eye out for that, because we know he's been mysterious this whole time. It's probably going to connect to something like that, to where maybe his family was killed trying to fight against being slaves, or maybe he got away and his family didn't, something like that maybe. Who knows, because he's from the third demon world. He doesn't have a collar on, and he's hired by people in the first demon world for some reason. So he's got ties to the third demon world some way, somehow. I've been saying this since episode 1. Just keep an eye on this guy. Well, since he was introduced. So just keep an eye on this guy. So after Glorio walks in, Shin, examines the collar, gets a little closer, and he goes, yeah, I think I could take this off, and pretty much casts a spell. Pon Paka Pon, right? Whatever that means. He shouts this spell. Collar just shatters into a million pieces, right? So now Pansy is so excited. She's, the most excited she's ever been, and she's ready to go now. So they all hop back on the ship. They all take off. As they take off, it cuts back to Hybis and the crew, and they all stop for whatever reason, right? They all just stop to stretch their legs, and Hybis is on the phone with Kadan. He's just like, hey, don't stop. You guys got to keep following the ship until you guys reach them. He's like, we got to chase them. We literally got to follow them until we catch up to them. He's like, yeah, no, I get it. Just be a good guest, or be a good guide to the guests, and just get them there. Because, King Kadan needs them, because they're strong enough to kill or defeat, Goma and the 2 Glens, and maybe the 3 Tamagami, and Abura, wherever he is, right? Dabura's dad. So he needs them safe. So he's like, you get them there no matter what. Be a good guest, or be a good guide. And so he's like, yeah, copy. Cuts back to Glorio. Glorio's like, hey, they're all flying now. They're flying. And Glorio's like, yeah, we need a pin to get to, if we want to get to the next demon world, we're going to need another pin, because we don't know this Marine's ship's pin. And so Pansy has a friend that's like a hacker that could get a pin. She just does a little hack sweep through the database and can hack the Marines, get a pin number, give it to them. Boom, then they're good, right? So that's what happens. Now, they finally make it to the Tamagami. They finally make it. They land, they get there, and they walk up, and you can see it standing in the distance, just standing there stoically. As they walk up to it, it's literally like a statue. It doesn't move. It's in its pose, right? As you can see in the thumbnail. And so as he's in this pose, he's just standing there. All 3 of them are down looking at it, and they're just all talking about it, like, oh my god, that thing's huge. Look how big that hammer is. Does he actually use that hammer when we fight? Like, oh my god, Goku's like, I'm gonna get crushed by that thing if it hits me. And so they're like, all right, well, are you ready to fight him? And Goku's like, yeah, but first, and always first, food and a bathroom break. And then it's go time, right? So cut to them at, some little shanty town shack, right? They're eating some kind of, kebabs with these little crazy kebabs. It looks like green olives with teeth coming out. It's crazy. It's weird, right? Shout out to Akira Toriyama. But so they're eating these things, and the waiter / owner of the shack comes up. He's like, how's everything going? He's like, good. And then Shin asks that guy, he's like, hey, has anyone fought the Tamagami in the past 20 years? Or sorry, no, I'm tripping. When's the last time Imagine has challenged the Tamagami? And the waiter goes, oh, well, the last time someone's challenged it was 20 years ago. And they're like, oh, and how did that Majin do? And he's like, I don't know, he's dead. So the last time someone challenged this thing was 20 years ago. They died. They couldn't beat it. And it was stated, he said that King Dabura, or Pansy actually says, because she doesn't want Goku to fight him, right? Because Goku's like, wait, so how do I challenge this guy, right? So Goku's kind of getting rushed because he's getting excited when everyone's talking about it. So he asks the owner, and he goes, wait, so how do you challenge the Tamagami? And he goes, you simply just challenge him. Just go up to him and challenge him. And so Goku's like, all right, bet. Hops off, goes to the bathroom, does his business, comes out, and he's like, all right, ready to fight. Let's go. Runs over to the Tamagami, right? They all run back. Or as Goku's about he wants to do that, but Pansky's like, Goku, wait, do you think this is a good idea? I don't even know. This Tamagami's really strong. Like King Dabura couldn't even beat him. So like Goku, that gets him more amped up. He's like, oh yes, that makes it even better because King Dabura was pretty strong. So let's do it. And so he runs. He finally gets to the Tamagami. We're there. We're here. He's right in front of him. He's about to say, hey, I challenge you. And as he's about to do that, the Tamagami goes, what's up? And just like does this big yell. Like the biggest yell. It sounds, it makes sound waves, shock waves across the land, right? People can hear this from miles away. It was like when Superman screamed in the Justice League movie. Goku like gets hit with that sound wave and he's like, oh my god, like what the hell? He's like, hey man, you didn't have to yell, I'm right here. And so the Tamagami's like, are you looking for the Dragon Balls? Do you want some of this? And then and like literally that's his energy. And then Goku's like, yeah I am. He's like, alright, well, I'm the third Tamagami, you gonna have to fight me for him. And then so Goku's like, alright, bet. And then they square off and then boom, end of episode. So the ending is so hype. They're about to fight the Tamagami. We finally get to see, and this is relatively fast. Like, this is the 7th episode, so on the 8th episode, we're going to see the first Tamagami, which isn't bad pacing. I love that pacing. That's great. We're finally here. This is one thing I've really been looking forward to, because I have this whole theory about them. Go ahead and watch my other video on the Tamagami about it. I'm excited that we're doing this. I'm excited we're finally about to see, what's up with the Tamagami. And hopefully, we get a lot of good fight scenes next week. We get a lot of good, I just want to pretty much dive into what I see. If it's a good fight and the power levels start rising, I really want to see what the Tamagami are capable of. That way I could dissect that even more and get pretty much more information out of seeing what they're capable of. But yeah, it's gonna be a sweet episode. The next episode is titled Tamagami, so hopefully it's an awesome fight. And then we're gonna be seeing Vegeta and Piccolo and them soon. They should be there before we get to the second Demon Realm. They should get there before Goku beats the third Tamagami, right? Who knows if he beats him alone? He might not be strong enough to beat him by himself. He might Glenn, like Shin and Glorio might have to hop in to kind of assist Goku in this fight if the Tamagami starts pushing him. And yeah, I really can't wait to see any of that. I know you guys are excited, so make sure you guys stick around, like the video, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you guys get these reviews every week. And I drop other content too, so just stick around, say what's up in the comments, let me know what you guys think of the episode. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing you guys next week and throughout the week too, because I'll be making videos and talking about more of this Tamagami talk. Okay, so alright, peace out everybody.